us.
But
What are we doing?
it'll never reach to a point to where you get a candidate that
You don't. Just that.
wholeheartedly represents you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like go with those bits and pieces until
and that's
you get
100% true.
something complete.
That's 100% true. And that's what I need us to understand. Because when I hear us as black people talk about it, we're talking about it like, oh, I'm voting for Trump because he gives this. Okay, well, understand that when you vote for Trump because he's giving you this, you're also voting for all the other things that he's doing, and a lot of it is not for you.
Yeah.
Stop pretending like you're only voting for him and that's okay. You're voting for that particular point. But in your vote for that particular point, you're supporting all of everything else.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it. But so that was before he got indicted, and now y'all know, or everybody know he got indicted. Yeah, you got to see that whole indictment and surrender. The meme and everybody everybody y'all already know they putting shirts on. They putting the mug on shirts. They putting it on cups. They putting it on coffee mugs. But the issue is the Republicans can't even really figure out whether or not we're cheering for Trump or we're just laughing at Trump. People shout free Trump, but you shout free Trump or free everybody or on everything. And honestly, I think it's a lot less black people that really want Trump than not. But I need to talk to these folks that do want Trump, because you think he's been doing great things for us. I mean, I don't see how. Because really,
he gave out them stimulus checks.
Yeah, but he gave out the stimulus checks, and that was a bipartisan thing. That was a bipartisan vote across Congress. So he gave out checks, but all of Congress voted for it. Yeah. So that was Dems and Republicans. So I don't see how they thinking that. And then we got our people out here that are in the streets. Like, okay, I'm rolling with Trump because he got a
business.
No. That's what you would think, right? Yeah. Nah, they like he got a mugshot. I got a mugshot.
Oh wow.
He my homie. Like now they saying like Trump is a real ninja. So I don't get it. But so I need you guys to understand who Trump really is, because who he is now is the same guy that who he was back in the 80s. So if you remember when the Central Park 5 issue happened, he pretty much wanted these guys not just under the jail, but completely gone. He wrote this op-ed, and it was really interesting. But first thing he did, he did this interview, right? And here's what he said. This your boy Trump. This what y'all are with.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great. I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
That's the one that you thought, that you think is for you. When in actuality, back in '89, he was saying that me and you, just because we go to college, we have education, we got better advantages than white people. How well did that do for us in the last 30 years?
That's just being ill-educated about white people and thinking that just because they have education that they have an opportunity. Because in America, they see it as long as you have the education and you go further in life, that's where the American dream is. and that's where people are getting out of poverty and doing things with themselves. But in our reality, that's it's
Yeah.
far from the truth.
And then you still hit the glass ceiling because if you're black and educated,
Mhm.
you still don't have all the things that white and educated gives you
Hmm.
as far as business capabilities and the ability to borrow money. Like what he said was during a point where, or after a point where he got millions from his own dad.
Yeah.
Like, you really gonna say you would rather have been? Would you rather have been black and educated or white and getting millions from your dad to start yourself and as a billionaire?
I
Really?
think
Like, come on, man.
for him, it was easy to say that because he just doesn't know the struggle of being black.
He don't.
And a lot of people do
This is a key
the
point.
same thing.
What you're saying is very true, and this is what what you're saying about him not knowing is very true.
Mm.
And then when we talk about this next thing, the op-ed that he put out in the same year, the op-ed he put out in the same year after Central Park 5,
Mhm.
was pretty much he didn't care. He told you he didn't care. He told us we didn't care. So I'm telling you, like, this dude, we're trying to pretend like he is doing the best for us, and it's not. It's completely untrue. Look at this right here. So this right here is what after Central Park 5, Trump put out his own op-ed, right?
Mhm.
And it says bring back death penalty. He was so upset. He was so true about this. And here's what he said. Now, first, he over here in this area, he talked about how things were so he wanted the police to have their capabilities back, and they didn't want to be
What
held
year
back
was this?
by liberal. This was in 1989, so it's right here on right 1989, May 1st, 1989. Now he actually did that little interview in September. So over here he talked about how he said
Like wild criminals roam our neighborhoods.
right, wild criminals roam our neighborhoods, dispensing their own vicious brand of twisted hatred on whomever they encounter. He's really talking about us. This is what he's thinking. This is what his actual thoughts are, right?
Mhm.
But then what he goes up to here, this is really what Trump thinks about you. He says they must serve as examples so that others will think long and hard before committing a crime or an act of violence. Yes, Mayor Cook, I want to hate these murderers, and I always will. This is about the exonerated Central Park 5 that were completely innocent, right?
Mhm.
But because he automatically knows in his mind that they're guilty, he thinks we're all guilty. I want to hate these murderers. I'm not looking to psychoanalyze or understand them. Who's he talking about?
Mhm.
Come on, black people. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? I don't want to psychoanalyze them. I don't want to understand.
Mhm.
Right? It says I'm not looking to psychoanalyze or understand them. I'm looking to punish them. If the punishment is strong, the attacks on innocent people will stop. I recently watched a newscast trying to explain the anger in these young men. I no longer want to understand their anger. I want them to understand our anger. I want them to be afraid. Get the F out of here. Like, seriously, this is the guy that you want to go back into office. This is the guy you want to go back in office. Everybody out there in the streets talking about, oh, Trump, my dog, he my ninja, all of this. Like, this is the dude that really don't care what you've been through.
But can you hold something somebody said like 30 years ago against them?
Yes.
Like people
when they're grown
people
adult.
evolve and change. They don't stay the same. I mean, of course he's been around like people of our ethnicity, like different times. Like he's employed people of color.
Yeah, who also said he was racist. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, can we still hold him to that?
Yes. Because guess what? He still never actually came back and apologized.
I don't think
When
he'll ever
looking this stuff up,
apologize for some
he
things.
literally came back and said he didn't feel any remorse. When the Central, he wrote this after the Central Park Five were arrested,
Mhm.
right? So he believed that it was all 5 of those black young men that were guilty. He never rescinded it, even after they were found innocent. And there's been multiple issues that come up that said, people that worked with him or for him, even some of his tenants when he was
Yeah,
a
even to
landlord,
this day.
said that he was racist. So why do we want to ignore all of this?
Yeah. The main thing I don't like is that he incites racism. Like all the people that's backing him, they have a little bit of racism within them,
Exactly.
and they think it's okay.
Because it's like this. If he might not be racist,
Mhm.
I believe he is. He might not be racist, but all the racist people
They love him.
love him.
Yeah.
So if everybody that's racist loves you, dude, you're sending a signal out there that makes them think that you're on their team.
Yeah, because even like his slogan is "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, when was it
like-
great?
How great are you trying to?
When was America
Listen,
as a whole great? The Constitution. The Constitution
when it
is great.
was back when more white people were in power.
The Constitution is great. It has grandiose words and concepts of greatness,
Mhm.
but the actual follow through of America is not great.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and he has always benefited off of it, and he will continue to benefit off of it because everybody who don't look like us is supporting him, and they won't not support him. So we will always be at the bottom. Come on, bro. Like, why are we trying to pretend like this junk, like you don't see it? We want to pretend like he is not what he is because we want the benefits of what we think he wants for us, which is not true. Anything that we get, listen to this. Anything that we get as black people is not aimed towards improving life for us. It is just it's runoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when he pours into the bucket of those that he wants to succeed, and then we get the runoff as if we're the weeds after the bucket is being overflown.
It's just like
it's not
in slavery when black people used to get servless faps.
Yeah.
But
And then
they make the best.
subsequently,
they make the best of
we
what they
ended
get.
up being the strongest because we was getting the pot liquor.
Yeah, you make the best of what you.
But I just don't understand what we're doing. You know what? I got some blowback from the last one when I said if you're black and you're voting for Trump, then you're voting for white supremacy. But the issue is, we want to take parts of what we want, and not actually understand that you cannot get. When you get a loaf of bread, do you buy a loaf of bread and go to the register and be like, no, I only want the middle slices. I don't like the end pieces, so I don't want those. I don't want to pay for those. I only want the middle slices of bread. No, you can't get just the middle slices of bread. You get the whole loaf of bread, and you get the end pieces on both sides. That's what we're doing. We're saying I voted for Trump because I like the middle pieces of the bread. No, you're getting the whole loaf of bread, and the whole loaf of bread says this end piece and that end piece are racist and have nothing to do with what is beneficial to you as a black community. But you're like, I just want the middle pieces. That's not happening, bro. It's not. You either getting the whole loaf or you're not. And people want to say, oh, you don't understand, or Trump is doing stuff for us. Well, guess what? You still get the other pieces of bread that you didn't want. And stop pretending like you're not. That's what kills me about us.
But
what are we doing?
It'll never reach to a point to where you get a candidate that you wholeheartedly that wholeheartedly represents you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like go with those bits and pieces until
And that's
you get
100% true.
something complete.
That's 100% true. And that's what I need us to understand. Because when I hear us as black people talk about it, we're talking about it like, oh, I'm voting for Trump because he gives this. Okay, well, understand that when you vote for Trump because he's giving you this, you're also voting for all the other things that he's doing, and a lot of it is not for you.
Yeah.
Stop pretending like you're only voting for him, and that's okay. You're voting for that particular point, but in your vote for that particular point, you're supporting all of everything else.
Yeah.
That's why I voted last year. I mean, during the last election, I voted for Biden, and I'll tell you why. It was not because I think, my body, my choice. It was not because I think like they're doing the great things. I picked Biden, and I picked the Democratic Senate because I need them to do something about gun laws and global warming. Because guess what? I care more about my children than I do about just me. My children need an earth to live on, and they need not to be shot up at schools. And the Republicans don't want to even acknowledge either one of those things, so I can't vote for you because that's me voting against my children. I don't care how much money I got in the bank. It don't matter how much money I got in the bank. How much money I got in the bank cannot protect my kids at school and cannot protect my grandchildren from dying in a world that's overheated. Understand, when you vote for them, you are voting for everything that they encompass, not just those single things. So yes, I had to trade off the Democrats wanting my body, my choice, but I also understand that it's more important for me to get the global warming and the weapons, gun laws addressed. That's more important for my generation. Why are you keep voting for your wallet? Your wallet don't save you, bro. It don't. The Egyptians tried it. You can't take all that money with you. So why are you voting for what helps your pockets right now when you can't take it with you? My bad. Bruh,
that was good.
I'm telling you, ooh.
No, but
and I'm not saying.
But the points that you mentioned are very true, because a lot of people, they're voting depending on how much money they have in the bank and where they think the candidate will take them.
Yep.
But they're not thinking about our future. They're not thinking about our children. They're just thinking.
They don't care.
But this generation is very selfish.
Yeah.
They're thinking about themselves right now. They're not thinking about the future. They're just thinking and living in the moment.
Some of the last generation was selfish too, though.
Yeah. It's just selfishness.
It is.
And that you only live once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the world. That's the way the world is. The world has always been selfish. So, that's enough about Chuck, because I don't want to get aggravated.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.